What if I told you that a single day in 1356 saw an outnumbered English army crush the French, capture a king, and reshape medieval Europe's power dynamics? The Battle of Poitiers wasn't just a victory. It was a turning point that shocked the continent and solidified the reputation of the English longbow. The Battle of Poitiers, fought on September 19, 1356, during the height of the Hundred Years' War, was a clash of armies and ambitions. Led by Edward, the Black Prince, the English forces dealt a devastating blow to the French, capturing King John II and forcing France into political chaos. Coming on the heels of the English victory at Crécy and amid the societal upheaval caused by the Black Death, Poitiers wasn't merely a battle. It was a reflection of the era's shifting tides. This pivotal encounter not only defined the careers of the Black Prince and his knights, but also showcased the evolving tactics of medieval warfare. The Hundred Years' War, a protracted conflict between England and France, stemmed from deep-seated territorial disputes and claims to the French throne. By the mid-14th century, King Edward III of England sought to assert his rights as the legitimate heir to the French crown. France, under King John II, resisted these claims with fervor, leading to a series of clashes across the French countryside. In the years preceding Poitiers, the English had established their dominance with a remarkable victory at Crécy in 1346. However, the Black Death, 1347 to 1351, devastated both kingdoms, decimating populations, weakening economies, and straining military resources. While the plague's effects lingered, Edward III's son, Edward, the Black Prince, embarked on a campaign of raiding across southern France, targeting resources and drawing the French into battle. The battle began with the English forces, numbering around 6,000 men, retreating toward Bordeaux after a destructive campaign. The French army, over 20,000 strong, led by King John II, caught up with them near Poitiers. Outnumbered and weary, the English were forced to fight on terrain they knew well, a crucial advantage. The Black Prince positioned his troops cleverly on a ridge surrounded by natural obstacles, including hedges and vineyards. His army's core comprised highly skilled longbowmen, supported by men-at-arms and mounted knights. The French, confident in their numerical superiority, relied heavily on their traditional tactics of massed cavalry charges. King John II divided his forces into three lines, planning to overwhelm the English through sheer force. However, the English archers, stationed in narrow choke points, unleashed devastating volleys of arrows. The French knights, encumbered by heavy armor and hampered by the terrain, struggled to close the distance. After repelling successive French assaults, the Black Prince ordered a counterattack. English knights and men-at-arms surged forward, routing the disorganized French forces. In the chaos, King John II and his youngest son, Philip, were captured. This humiliating defeat left France leaderless and plunged the country into turmoil. The battle wasn't without its challenges for both sides. The English faced exhaustion and dwindling supplies after weeks of raiding. Morale was a constant concern, with many soldiers questioning their chances against a much larger French army. The French, on the other hand, were plagued by overconfidence and a rigid command structure that failed to adapt to the battlefield's conditions. Terrain played a decisive role. The English used the natural defenses of the landscape to funnel and disrupt French attacks. The French reliance on heavily armored knights proved disastrous in the narrow, uneven terrain, where mobility was severely restricted. Additionally, the Black Death had taken a toll on both armies. France, already weakened by internal divisions and economic instability, struggled to field disciplined troops. England, though also affected, had adapted by emphasizing professional, smaller armies over the feudal levies that France relied upon. The Battle of Poitiers was more than a military triumph for the English. It was a political catastrophe for France. The capture of King John II led to a breakdown in French authority, with rival factions vying for control. The ransom demanded for the king, an astronomical 3 million gold écus, further strained France's economy. For the English, Poitiers cemented the reputation of Edward, the Black Prince, as one of the most brilliant commanders of his time. The battle also reinforced the effectiveness of the longbow, an innovation that continued to dominate English warfare. However, the victory wasn't without consequences. While the English gained immense leverage, they struggled to consolidate their gains, leading to intermittent truces and renewed hostilities in the years to come. The Battle of Poitiers stands as a testament to the power of strategy over numbers. It showcased the brilliance of the Black Prince and the deadly efficiency of the English longbowmen. Yet, it also highlighted the fragility of medieval kingdoms, where the capture of a single king could send an entire nation into disarray. This battle was not just a clash of swords and arrows, but a defining moment in the Hundred Years' War, a conflict that would continue to shape the destinies of England and France for decades. Want to explore more about the Hundred Years' War? Dive into the lives of the Black Prince, King John II, and the innovations that shaped medieval warfare. Share your thoughts and discover other key battles in this epic conflict.